I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist church first to begin. I still do keep some of the moral. So music was always in me. My dad was a little bit sad and upset because it was a teenage pregnancy. A lot of people don't know that, but now they know. Every time I tell this story, I just laugh because there was this Vincentian woman selling provision outside the cafe. We're going to give you the opportunity for you to buy your own ticket to go back to St. Vincent, or we're going to deport you.
Ready and ready to go is Fya Empress here on Vincy Internet Radio. Say good afternoon to the audience, Fya.
Good afternoon, everyone that's locked on. Fya Empress in the building.
Yeah, she's hot and ready to go. I want the host. Good afternoon to the host, Moulton Sayers.
Good afternoon, Sip. Good afternoon to Radio Land. Good afternoon to our Facebook viewers. Just want to welcome the Empress, the only Empress in the house with the fire.
Thank you.
All right, before we get going, Fya Empress, I just want to welcome you to Vincy Internet Radio. Thanks for accepting our invitation to come on to Vincy Internet Radio. I know how it is in your side of the world. You know, we're missing some rest, but you're still here with us. To begin, I just want you to introduce yourself to my listening audience and also to my viewing audience. And then the host is going to take you from there.
Okay, for those of you who are locked on, my name is Lornette, aka Fya Empress. I am from the lovely, sunny, beautiful island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I am a soca artist, a calypso artist. I do different genres of music. So I'm here for all the questions that are going to be asked this evening about me. So stick around and learn a little bit more about Fya Empress.
All right, again, Fya Empress. Looking fabulous as usual. Welcome to Internet Radio. Welcome to Strictly Vincy. It's a pleasure to have you here. You know, despite our little mishap, you know, we were to be here last week and then, you know, things happen, but, you know, never mind, you're here now and the fans are going to have a treat in, you know, learning a little bit more about their favorite artists, you know. And I must say before we start that I'm a huge fan. Right.
Oh, so. Then I know my questions are going to be good tonight.
Oh, all good. It's always positive vibes on the Vincy Internet Radio.
Great.
We are one of your favorite fans. So, you know, your music always breaking down my station.
Thank you very, very much. Now I know I need to start doing my drops for your radio station.
Definitely.
You have to, yeah.
And as a disclaimer, you can talk about anything you want on the interview. We don't stop you. We don't limit you. This is your time to shine. All right.
Thank you very much.
I know you've been shining all the time. So, you know, just to start for the fans like me, you know, take us back to where your singing days started. Like, how did you first fall in love with music?
Well, my singing days started in the comfort of my home as a little girl growing up. You know, in my days, we didn't have internet and all of that. So to keep our company, my dad used to have this little recorder that he used to stick a cassette in. I don't even know if people remember what cassette is today, but you stick the cassette inside and you press record. And he would say, you know what, do anything you guys want, because I only have sisters. I grew up with sisters. I have one brother, but that was not for my mom. So he was an outside, you know, but growing up, I grew up with my sisters. And he used to say, you know what, sit down and record anything you all want to do. And if you all move, I would know because I'm going to replay the cassette after. So of course, from a young, tender age, I always wanted to be a singer, which my mom used to always oppose because, you know, when you ask your child, what do you want to be when you grow up? You don't want to hear your child say, I want to be a Whitney Houston, or I want to be a... So,
you want to hear a doctor or nurse or something like that, right?
Yeah, but my dad always had confidence in me. Bless his soul. He's still around, and I know he's very happy. He always had confidence. So when we had little concerts and stuff, I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist church first to begin with. So
Really?
there are a lot of stuff that we never used to. Yeah.
So do I.
I still do keep some of the morals, because there are stuff that I really, really believe in, some of the doctrines that I still keep, in as much as I'm a soca artist. But there were times when we had concerts in school, and I would tell my mom, and she would say, no, me ain't send you school to go and learn to sing. I send you to study. And behind her back, I will run and tell Daddy, Daddy, I want to go and do this. We win in a little 200. And he would be like, you know what? Well, if you win, you give me 100 and you keep 100.
So your dad was the enabler.
Yes. So that's exactly where I started. And then I go into church every Saturday, every 13th Sabbath, I want to sing. Before devotion, I want to sing. Before the pastor preach, I grew up like that. So music was always in me. And that's where I started.
So tell us which area of St. Vincent you're from.
I am from Richland Park. I grew up in Sandy Bay. Well, I was born in Sandy Bay. And some of my younger, just before eruption in 79, that's when we moved across over to Sandy Bay, move over to Richland Park. We came down from Sandy Bay side, and that's where I was based, Mespo, Richland Park. I went to Mesopotamia Government, and then to Canaan Government, and then to Maracwa Secondary School. That's where I went.
Okay, so in those days when you went to the secondary school, did you have a chance, or I guess you were still into the Seventh-day Adventist religious thing?
Yes, but we remember we used to have music festivals. I don't know if you guys know, but we used to have music festivals too around that time. And I used to always be in music festivals every year. Music was always in me. It was always there.
Yeah, well, it has to be. With the talent that you possess right now, I won't doubt one bit of what music is,
Thank you.
So you never got the chance to perform in secondary school calypso competition, of course, I guess because of your religious background.
There you go. Yes. Yes, because my mom was not having it. She was not having it at all. And she was a nurse. My dad was in the police force. So, I mean, these things were a little bit, it was tedious, but yeah.
Lots of discipline.
Yes, yes.
So when did you break out to start singing calypso, or got away from the religious part of that life?
When I had my first daughter, I do have a daughter now that is 28, a 28-year-old daughter. And when I had her, my dad was a little bit sad and upset because it was a teenage pregnancy. A lot of people don't know that, but now they know. And my mom was upset. Everybody, church, how church going to look at it? So I took it upon myself that I wanted to start to travel. And I went to Trinidad and Tobago. And I spent a couple of years in Trinidad doing bartending and stuff like that. And still never ran away from the music because I was in karaoke. I started going to karaoke and singing and stuff like that. But it was not enough for me. And one day I sat down and I said, you know what? It's Trinidad and Tobago. We already experienced Trinidad. Let's see what Tobago has. And I went across to Tobago and I met my first manager, music-wise. He had this one-man band in the hotels, and that's what I wanted. It wasn't the work in a 9-to-5 for me. It was always standing on a stage with a mic, and I got that opportunity when I went to Tobago. I used to go to different hotels with him, and all the female songs I was singing, all the male songs he would sing, and we started like that for a couple of years, because I spent like 20 years in Trinidad and Tobago. When it made like about 10 years into it, I decided, you know what? I keep singing for this man. If I sing for myself, I might make the same amount of money he making. he ain't gonna be paying me no quarter, and you know. So I sat and I thought about it, and I met this English guy, and he had the same option in his head, because he was saying, you sung him best. You the best thing. I don't know what he just be doing in the back there. So there I had somebody who wanted to invest into some music equipments for me. And that's where I started. I started to book hotels. I was doing 7 nights a week. Every night I'm in a different hotel singing. And then, of course, you know, you have to do all the slows, the reggae, the country and western. Of course, you have to add the bit of calypso and the bit of soca. And then my mind started going again. I keep singing people calypso and think, boy, what if I go and sing my own? I wonder how they're gonna accept it, because I already have the stage. I'm not afraid to stand in front of people and sing. You know, I already have that. So what if I, and that's where it started. What if I, and I met this guy, Prince Unique, a calypsonian out of Tobago, and he wrote I Am Woman in 2011. And I decided to get into the Trinidad and Tobago Calypso Queen. Before that.
Hold on, Fya Empress. Are you cheating me on my interview? You know, because I've been trying to keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. But hold on. Okay. You didn't just go to Trinidad, right? You went to a couple of other islands before you decided to settle in Trinidad. So tell us the fun that no, because I'm a big fan. I know about it, you know, but you have some fans who do
fine, you're not too much. You're not too much.
Yeah, man, you have to follow you, because I'm in your IG all the time, you know. So you know.
Right.
Yeah, man. So
I spent some time in St. Lucia before I went there, and I also spent some time in Barbados before I went to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes.
Right. So now
the music in Barbados, I used to sing. There used to be this little cafe right outside, right in the center of Bridgetown, right outside the bus terminal. I used to sing there. Every time I tell this story, I just laugh, because there was this Vincentian woman selling provision outside the cafe, and the group that was singing inside the cafe was myself, who was a Vincentian, a Guyanese that was playing the keyboard, and 2 other Bajan guys. And one day I sit down singing the boy, immigration coming. Oh, you're not. If we're gonna give you the opportunity for you to buy your own ticket to go back to St. Vincent, or we're going to deport you. And of course, I paid for my ticket and went back home. I give it like a little 6 months, and I go back again. And this woman called the people again. You know what? I said, man, this is not working out. This is not working out for me. And that's how I left Barbados, knowing in the back of my head things I needed to do and how to keep it straight. Because, you know, along the way, you learn things, and you know what not to do and what to do when you move on. So that was one obstacle. It got me a little bit upset, but then it was always for the better.
Destiny, man, destiny. You know,
yes.
and that's what I mean. Like, you know, I don't want people to think that Fya Empress just, you know, had a bed of roses, just walked into.
No,
right,
it was definitely not.
You know? Yeah, man. So yeah, because you know, you have people
it's the first time that I'm actually telling people about this, because and I only decided to want to do it now because it is true. People look at you and they have this whole picture of what they think, and it's far from it, very far from it.
Exactly. So, you know, and there are people looking up to Fya Empress, and, you know, little girls, or, you know, want to say, hey, I want to be like Fya Empress, but, you know, they need to know that you struggled, you know, and that it didn't just come to you. You have to want it, and you went and get it, you know?
Yes.
So now you Barbados, and you had a stint in St. Lucia, did you? Or correct me if I'm wrong. You went to St. Lucia as well?
Yes, but nothing really happened over there to talk about.
Right. So you reached Trinidad, you settled in or you decided to do some work in Trinidad musically. So pick me up again. I think you were at 2011 with the Calypso Queen.
Yes. But Merriman, before that, since you want to know everything,
yeah, man,
I got into that. My ex-husband, because I got married in Tobago. Little after I got my equipment and started my own business and stuff, and we started to do music together. One of my mistakes I think that I did was allowed him to pick up all the finance and bookings and stuff like that, because for today I'm actually paying a heavy price for that, but we will get there. Yeah, it's terrible, but we would get there, like I say. So in 2011 I had this Calypso, I Am Woman. Before that, in 2007, I started singing soca. And I used to only make semifinals for Soca Monarch in Trinidad. Never got to the finals until 2013, which we will get to. But 2011 is when, yes, we had Trinidadians who would come over to Tobago and they knew who Fya Empress was. Yes, the little girl that's singing in the hotels. But when they really found out who I was 2011, when I won the Calypso Queen for Trinidad and Tobago. And that is not a title that you defend the following year. This is a title that remains with you forever. So there was a 2010 Queen, there's a 2011 Queen, there's a 2012 Queen, and that goes down. That's how it is. So I can still say I am the Calypso Queen for 2011 with I Am Woman. With that now, I decided, hey, we get the Calypso Queen. So we're going now for Calypso Monarch in Tobago, and we're also going for Calypso Monarch in Trinidad, right? We did not make the Calypso Monarch in Tobago, but we made the semifinals for the Calypso Monarch in Trinidad, that is Skinner Park. A lot of people know that is where you get judged if you get toilet paper thrown at you if you're not that good, you know. But because I always like stage, I like looking pretty, these things don't faze me. I pick up a mic and I'm always trying to do my best. I'm always trying to outdo myself. So, you know, it was a joy for me to know that you're hitting Skinner Park. First time for Calypso and you're in Skinner Park. So that was a plus for me. From there, we wrap up Trinidad and Tobago Carnival, and now we're on to St. Vincent Carnival.
All right, hold it there. So one of the things I also admire about Fya Empress is that you did not need to come back, because you pretty much came back to St. Vincent. You did not need to come back to St. Vincent to prove anything in St. Vincent, because you're making it in Trinidad.
Yes.
And the other thing also that intertwined into it is that every time you do something, you're on an interview, you do something, you made it known that you're a Vincy.
Yes.
Yes. So you're so patriotic, and that song when you wrote, oh, I am a Vincy. Yeah, that song is so touching with the music behind it. The lyrics is just amazing. You're just so amazing.
And what I was happy with about that song, I sat down and penned that song in the comfort of my home, and I felt good about that, because a lot of people say, oh, it's okay to be an artist and a singer, but you see, if you can't write something for yourself, then they don't look at you as an artist. But yeah.
So we're gonna take in a little bit of that song, and then we're gonna come back.
Fya Empress.
Yes.
You can stay as long as you want. we're not going to run you. Anytime you come to the station, it's your show. We are only the facilitator.
Oh my, I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful.
So you talk about, I'm going to pick up where my host left off about coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When you decide to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what were you expecting? What were your expectations?
My first show in St. Vincent was in 2008. 2008, I came home with soca music. So when I went back in 2012, I knew what to expect. I knew what people wanted. I knew for a fact, yes, they love soca, but you need to bring some calypso too, bring some calypso life, because there weren't a lot of young people in the calypso art form in St. Vincent. When I went in 2008 and 2009, I remember 2008, I had Sac Passe. Never made it to Soca Monarch. 2009, I had Mama Leia. I don't know if you have that song, but that is a bit of zouk.
Yeah, I have
Mama
it.
Leia.
It's like somewhere in the tracks here.
Yeah, Mama Leia, I got to the finals for Soca Monarch. But if you listen to that song, it gives you a sort of a raga vibe, what we would say. It wasn't the power soca. So of course, I had people standing up in the crowd looking at me like, who is she, boy? Who is that Bonnie girl there singing there? She sung good though. Because I could depict what people are saying. It wasn't a bad look. It was the look of, we want to know who she is. And that time, I don't think the radio stations were very generous to me at that time because, of course, you had to have something popular. You have to be the in it, you know, for people to really take you on. So I got to Soca Monarch finals, but nothing really came out of it. And then 2010, I came back again with Session Done. This time now, you're telling yourself, well, okay, she was in it last year, so she come again, but yeah, she had to work. She still had to work hard. You know, the shows weren't coming in, but yet I was still there. Nobody, sometimes I wonder if people really sit down and remember them times. They just remember 2012 and onward, but they don't remember the sacrifices. I still was persistent. That did not faze me, whatever happened in 2009 and 10, because of course, I was back in Tobago winning the Calypso Monarchs since 2007. I won the Soca Monarch 2007, 2009, 2010, 2011. So I've already had 4 crowns under me when I went to St. Vincent in 2012.
And you took the road march and you took the road march in 2012 with the rum song?
Yes, yes. We took the road march, we took the Calypso Monarch, we took the Raga Monarch, and we came second in the Soca Monarch. Yes.
You have a good memory. I have all these lined up in front of me here.
These things are things that I will never forget, because these were the stepping stones that has me grounded for the person who I am today.
So which year you think is your year that you think that this is it? Fya Empress now breakout. Which year you think is your breakout year?
Internationally, I would say 2013, because right after 2012, when I got all those crowns, I had still gotten, they did not have a Soca Monarch in Trinidad, but they had Soca Monarch in, they didn't have it in Tobago, but they had it in Trinidad. So I was a finalist in the Soca Monarch in Trinidad. And that's when people really started to know who I am. I started to do shows in New York. I started to do shows in London here. And most of the Caribbean chain of countries I went to within that span from 2012, 2013, 2014. I can stop there because that's when I started traveling all around the place with these particular songs. So yes.
So in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what song do you think you brought to the people that really say, okay, this is Fya Empress?
I am Vincy. I am a Vincy. I think that was the song that did it. The soca, Rum Please, it gravitated to the young people, is what they wanted on Soca Monarch night, and they got it. They wanted action and they get action, and that is it. But for me, every show that I do is guaranteed to have True Vincy in it, is guaranteed to have Rum Please sometimes. But for sure, True Vincy and I Am Woman, these are the two songs that still stand out for me today.
If I'm gonna give you my side of it, the song that really brought you out to me is Drink a Juice.
Drink a Juice?
Yes, that's a song that if you had to call one song that Fya Empress sing, that's the song I just come to my mind right away. Drink a Juice. You wouldn't
it's
believe
one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite too, but that was down the line.
Yeah, that's the song that really brought Fya Empress out to me. That's when I started following you from this song, Drink a Juice.
Wow.
And every year, Calypso in St. Vincent, I listen. One post I'm looking off is Fya Empress.
Yes.
But I thought you brought something to the Calypso arena, and you uplift the standard of the Calypso at that time. And a lot of people, sometimes when you make these sacrifices and when you do these things, the way you started, a lot of people maybe put you in the back burner. But when you start getting there and getting the people involved, then people realize Fya Empress is going to be a hard person to beat. Did you ever had that with the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Did you get that feedback?
Yes. St. Vincent, we don't say it like, let me say it the correct way. St. Vincent has special breed of people here. Yeah? The same set that does lift you up so.
True.
Does drop you right back down on your back. Me, I don't know, boy. It has been an up and down for me and my Vincentian crew. But you know what? I still love them, and I still come every year with something for them. Between 2017 and 18 has been a bit rough for me because I had a major surgery. And I had the surgery in 2017, right after I won the crown, the Calypso Monarch in 2017. Okay, before we get to 2017, between 2015, 16, I had a divorce that I was dealing with. Within that divorce, we had politics that I decided to sing for one side of a party, and when contracts were not held up and I decided to say no, it became a bit of a sour taste on some Vincentians' mouth. Let me put it that way. And then I came off the scene for a bit because I had to deal with that, and I had to deal with a divorce. And in 2017, I came back with a song, Guilty as Charged. Oh Lord, who tell me to sing Guilty as Charged? The contents of the song, people start saying, oh, she's singing about her husband. Very far from the truth. I could say that tonight. Very, very far from the truth. It was a song that was there that was supposed to come in 2014. And because I had all those hiccups, the song never came until 2017. And it came in the middle of when people know, oh, so this is what she's doing. And then 2017, now the song became a hit in Trinidad again, before it became a hit in St. Vincent. When I went in, I made the big yard. I'm sure a lot of people heard about that. I made it to the big yard for the first time. And between me and you, it was what I wanted since 2012. I used to always say, if I make all these competitions and I make the big yard for all these, I am done with it. I can completely say, no, I don't have to compete. I will bring the songs, but I don't have to compete. But until such time, I will be competing. And I made it to the big yard in 2017 for Trinidad and Tobago. And then it had the bacchanal. Oh, she's not a Trinidadian. She's not supposed to be singing in the finals. So I had to put the Calypso board to court, which I won and made it to the big yard. But of course, you can't put the Calypso board in court and expect to place. So that's where I had my big hiccups again. So that's where it had, and then I had to go to St. Vincent and sang it there, won the competition there, and then I went up to the States and I had a major surgery, like I said. And that put me out of compliance for 2018 when I was supposed to defend. I could not because I was not in any place to perform. A lot of people took it the wrong way. Oh, she don't want to compete. She don't want to come and defend, and she don't. So when we talk about hills and valleys, that was me, up and down with the people. So I'm out of compliance. Can't go down to St. Vincent, not even to give interviews. Yes, I was bringing out the songs, but the songs were just like there. 2019, I came back again. I did all the competitions because I knew people were missing a bit of Fya Empress. And 2020, we have the pandemic. So tell me what I missed between there that you would like to know.
The thing that struck me most was the kind of negative things you got when you didn't defend your crown. Yes. I think they were, in my opinion, I think they were unfair to you because your health come first, and if you can't make it, this should be more sympathy with your health.
Yeah, and I think too, you see, if you don't tell, listen, let me tell you, we Vincentians is a special breed of people. You hear? Let me tell you something. If you break your foot, tell the people you break your foot. If you tell them I had an accident, they will ride you back and think you're so wrong. You need to tell them you break your foot. And I was not ready to tell these people what my health issue was. It wasn't really bad. But it was life-threatening, and I had to do the surgery because standing on stage for me was just too much with that. Okay. It has been years now, so I could say it. I had a fibroid, and this is the first time I'm actually saying this on radio, but I would say it now. I had a fibroid to the size of a basketball. Anybody who has fibroids would know how difficult this is. On a monthly basis, you have heavy bleeding, you have pain, and it was just too much because it was right on my cervix, and I had to remove it. It was something that I had to do. When I did it, of course, you have to get this cut across the tummy. I went home the Saturday. I did the surgery the Thursday, went home the Saturday. The Sunday, the Monday, I was back up in the hospital. The whole thing got infected. So they had to pull out all these stitches that they did, and had to, this has been graphic, but sometimes you need to tell people so that they really know how bad it was. They had to remove all these stitches, and I had was to let that heal as an open wound. It was very, very difficult for me, very difficult. I spent almost 6 months in New York doctoring that before I actually came home.
So Empress, we're grateful that you have recovered from that operation, and You know, it's always good when you can talk about it. That means you're healing mentally.
I could know. Yeah. Back then, it wasn't something I wanted out in the public. I just needed to make sure that I was healing mentally and spiritually before I bring this out to the atmosphere. Now, nothing could really faze me. I'm actually waiting for when we're going to have a next stage again for me to start getting on bad.
So you're an incredibly strong woman. We know that you have a strong character, very high on morals, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you came out with Rum Please, it was said that you kind of felt bad after Carnival because you also performed for some, and there were some kids there, and you tell us the rest of the story. That I was it.
Yes. Like I say, everything you do, there's always be a stepping stone going forward. I did that song, and yes, it gained me popularity. It gained me crumbs. But Dread, there was an instant where I had to do shows for little kids. And I have this wide repertoire with so many songs, including Through Vincy, Bam Bam Talk, all these things. And when you ask these children what you want to hear, we were Rum Please. That was what actually gave me the incentive to sing Drink a Juice. But that didn't work. That did not work. To this day, people still want to hear Pass Me a Drink of Your Rum.
I think that was one of my first love though. When no, it's the one with the water, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, are you a shy person in general?
No.
Okay. The reason why I ask you that because there's a certain Jamaican artist, and I can say her name, Lady Saw, who was also a Seventh-day Adventist. And she once said that when you see me perform on the stage with all these songs and all these and saying all these lyrics, and she said, "That's not me. When I get home, I'm somebody different."
Well, listen to me. For me, I would say there's a difference between Lornette. A lot of people don't know Lornette. If they get to know Lornette, they would love Lornette.
Well, we love Fya Empress.
Fya Empress. You see, when I get on stage, it's a whole different aura, a whole different dress code, a whole different thing bubbling off my tongue. But then when I get home, that's Lornette. Once I get off and makeup and I get this, you get Fya Empress tonight because I didn't know what to expect. So you have Fya Empress right now. You don't even have Lornette. But Lornette, she's a nice chick, cool chick.
I thought I have Lornette tonight.
No, you don't have Lornette tonight. You have Fya Empress tonight.
And it's true when I look at because of course I follow you on Instagram. When I look at your Instagram, you're just this different kind of character. Nobody can imagine that this character is on stage. And then when you look at some of the other photos, you go like, whoa, she is a performer, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, how do you transform? And I just want to ask you also, maybe I should ask you this first. So you do calypso and you do soca.
Yes.
Which is your more comfort zone? Because of course, sometimes calypso is the one that brings out what you have inside, and soca is just a performance thing. But which do you enjoy writing and performing?
That is so hard. I have gained a love for calypso. Soca was always there. Soca was always a love, but I grew to love calypso simply because it brings out the topics. It's like I just feel real queenish and magnificent when you're singing a calypso and you know you're all there. The soca now get down in some little short thing and put on some boots up to the tie, and that's a whole different me again. So for me, calypso. And as I get older, As I get older, the calypso, yeah, I still love. Don't think that I hate soca at all. I love soca. It's a kind of jumbie in me when I get to the soca side. We have not had such stage since 2019. Since 2019, it has been on the virtual stage and stuff like that. So it kind of, it limits you to what you really want to do. Calypso, yeah, Calypso allows me, and it brings out my strength, and so I have to say Calypso, but I love soca.
Of course, and you love reggae soca too. So
yes.
You're just versatile in anything you do or everything you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If we have to go back now, so we're gonna go back on track. So you left Trinidad, you came to St. Vincent. Like I said, you're doing good in Trinidad, and you came to St. Vincent, where I guess you taking the money from what you want in Trinidad, and you're still coming to St. Vincent to compete.
Invest it. Thank you. Thank you. Nobody saw the investment. You know what they saw? What I was taking away from St. Vincent. I could laugh at this now because I'm a bit more mature now. But there were times when this used to have me in tears.
Oh, really?
It used to have me in tears because, you work so hard and you invest so much. Listen.
And you're a Vincy.
There you go. There you go. And trust me, my children at that time were living in St. Vincent. They went to school in St. Vincent. And I had to take care of my kids. So, of course, the money was spending in St. Vincent. But they ain't seeing that. What used to anger me is when I done win whatever I win for Trinidad Carnival, I coming up with titty money, right? To convert into EC, to go and create 3 different performances, not 1, not 2, 3, matter of fact 4, because there's 2 calypsos you have to sing. Right. So you have to have 4 productions. My friend, this is not cheap. It is not cheap.
It's not.
Nobody was asking, I wonder what Pasha get money for go make them productions to go on stage. I wonder how she does pay the dancers. I wonder how nobody thinking about that. She come again for take the money for carry it down.
You have to take the time off. You have to buy your ticket. Plus you have to buy materials for your props and all that.
There you go. Pay the dancers. I have to pay a taxi. Hey.
So why?
The love of music, the love for country, which I still do have in me. Would I make the same sacrifices that I used to years ago? No, not all of it, because to me, we have lost the touch for music, calypso. And boy, let me take the blame, because I don't want nobody wake up tomorrow morning and say, Lornette, say them. No, I have lost a bit of interest in sacrificing too much into one thing that some people look at as it's just a seasonal thing, and when Carnival done, and it is true, when Carnival done, life goes on. You understand? If I have it, and I think that is worth investing, I would. 2019, I invested again. Nobody asked for me invest or how me investment come me get my money for do what me have to do, but I still do it, right? Would I take my last and say again, good? I used to do that 2012, 13, 15, 16. Yeah, I used to read. It was like I was addicted to it. I live for creating productions and letting people see. Now, I would, but not to that extent. I need to see people gaining a little bit more respect for artists, respecting the art form, and that includes us as artists respecting the art form and bringing proper production and proper music. Somebody put up something on Facebook, because you all know I'm a little social media freak. I live on social media every day. And I saw somebody put up, "We soca gone, we soca music gone." I was tempted to type, but I didn't. I decided to keep my little 2 cents to myself. But the art form kind of going down. And this has nothing to do with the pandemic. I said, thank God the pandemic come so that the artists would get a rest. And whenever we get the chance again to come out, that we would bring something proper. So I'm actually anxious as to what would be on the table for when we have a carnival again, the kind of productions, the kind of music, and if anybody changed from where we were in 2019. I'm anxious for that.
Yeah, Fya Empress, I'm very proud of what you're doing, because when you came back into St. Vincent for music, we were in dire need of women into soca, you know, and then you just came and you came like one of those songs that you have that you just jump in. It's like you just jump in and start bang, 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 bang on a high tempo. And that really brought the respect of us out here in foreign land. How challenging is it as a woman, and we know your challenges in general, but as a woman who coming from Trinidad to compete back in St. Vincent, how challenging was it for you? What are some of the obstacles you faced?
First, being a female, you had to stand up for yourself. You had to stand up in, it started with, how much are you going to perform for? Remember, you're just a woman, eh? You're not fireman, and you're not skinny, and you're not icon. In them days when I came out, these were the faces, you know, you're not that, you're a woman. And this is what them performing for. So we want to know what you performing for. And I had a standard price. I had a standard price because I knew that what I had was good. One, I knew that they wanted a woman. They will need a woman in the show, so they will pay me what I want. I will give them what they want in the show, and that was the kind of focus. Listen, I had to laugh, and I remember one person. I ain't calling no names on the radio station. I went up a particular radio station, and I was defending in 2013. I was coming off of the high in 2012. And this particular radio station owner told me, he said, I can't push your music like how you want me push it, you know. Because, you know, I backing a particular artist, and last year it was very threatening. So we can't really do what you want me to do. Tears came to my eye. Tears came because I was like, okay. Then we have the production coming back again to creating production that you have to use on these big nights. There were people coming in with the fireworks and whatnot that you had to buy the fireworks from. This man coming from Trinidad, so of course he knows I coming from Trinidad because he has to work with me in Tobago before I come St. Vincent. And he told me, he said, listen, these people tell me don't sell no fireworks, you know. These people tell me I shouldn't, but I had to tell you because I still working with you after Carnival done in St. Vincent. These are the kind of challenges that I had to deal with.
Whoa.
So, I mean, when I hear people saying, oh, I want to be a Fya Empress, and I want to be this when I get big, it's not an easy road. It's really not an easy road. I had too many challenges to talk about. People fight, they fight. When me tell you fight, they fight. The art form itself, Jesus. Artists and them can't see eye to eye at all. They smile and they grin with you whole year. If you meet them outside, let's say you meet them in Canada or you meet them in New York, I'm always a professional person. So I say hi and I keep my space. When I go to a show, I'm not a party person per se, because I tell myself, you pay your money to come and see me. So I am not going to be in the party or by the bar. I'm going to be backstage, and when I don't perform, I jump in my vehicle and I go home. It has been like that for me ever since. And a lot of people see me and they think, oh, she must be the party girl. Nope. Nope. I perform and I leave. And obstacles, all how you look at it. People did the nice day, and then when it come and the competition start, the vision like this, they don't want to see over there. They like this. Don't talk to me. This is my zone, until they come off stage, and then when they come off stage, they drop the guard again. I've seen it, so I know whenever I'm preparing for competitions, I know what to expect. I know, so I come and I know I have to get my own tent. I know how to get my own dancers. Listen, even the dancers does boycott you. It's really funny.
Wow.
I remember one year, and it was Calypso. I went to a particular set of dancers, and after years of knowing them, there are certain things that you would tell them, and there are certain things that you can't tell them. You can't tell them where you're wearing, you can't tell them the little pics. They know the routine they had to do. Let them do that, and let them stay away from your other part of your production. A time, and this was 2017 self, I wanted a bell on the night of the show. One bell, I know. That was the year when I did Hold On. I did Hold On with I'm Guilty. That is when I won the crown. Listen, the artist who was defending came out. I said I wanted a bell, but they didn't know what I was going to do with the bell, and they didn't know how it coincided with me. The man went and get a bell, and he come out with a little ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. When I come out and I ring that bell on stage, and I laugh at it, because I say, you see, if I didn't tell these dancers that I needed this, and this is what even the dress code was the same. I could have swear. I said, but oh, this man knew I was going to dress. And let me bring it out. That was Manzangi. Manzangi was in a whole Baptist outfit the same year when I did the Baptist outfit with the bell.
Ah, so they kept the push out the
back. These are the kind of things that they have to do with artists and dancers. And so, I mean, like I say, all these are stepping stones. These are things, when it happened, you laugh and you tell yourself, this can't happen next year. This can't happen if this go on again. But these are the little things that happen. These are little things, listen,
that people won't hear about.
Listen, a year, let me give you a next episode. A year, I spent $3,000 on one pyro. You listening to me? One pyro. The pyro was supposed to blow up and come into a particular form. And the artist that went up before me kick out my pyro out from the front stage.
Whoa.
$3,000 go down the drain. You know how I felt, and I had to go on stage and perform after? My ball, let me tell you, listen, my cry. But what you gonna do? And they knew. They knew, because when Fya Empress would do, we want to know where Fya Empress working. Right now, Jesus, the way how CDC set up right now, I would buy my pyros in secret and bring them.
Is that bad, eh?
It's that bad.
Wow.
Too much a friend thing.
I know the radio is a friendism thing, but
too much of friend. I'm not, listen to me. All of them, it's we friend. All of them is we good. But you see, we come to competition for this one little 25,000. A year, I go in my tent. I have a tent. Like I said, I will rent my own tents. And somebody go in my tent and put, no, the tent does only have 2 tables and the chairs are wrong. So the chairs is for the dancers to sit and the tables to put 11 cents. Now you might say, why would you think? I have to think, because why would 11 cents, a 10 cent and a 1 cent in the middle of a tent on my table with nothing else inside it?
True.
An art going on stage. Listen, it's just too much. It is too much.
Yeah, we're gonna take in some music and we'll come back with more deeper down into the Fya Empress.
Fya, I just have a inbox here from a fan out in UK. One fan want to know where in Europe that are in the, what she say? Where in Europe had you performed before?
Where in Europe? Okay. I did England for so High Wycombe. I've done World Trade Markets representing Tobago at one point in time. And that has taken me to places like Norway, but not many, but yeah, Norway and of course, England, London here. Yes.
But coming back to you, to Fya Empress herself. Now, if you have to give some advice, say to a young artist who come to Fya Empress looking for advice, if you have to give some advice to a young artist, what would be that main advice you will give them to help them to grow?
First of all, you have to have a love for the art form. You have to have this strong belief in yourself, have aims, set goals, because you just can't say, oh, I want to be an artist and I want to sing, and you just come and sing. You have to know what you want from it. What are you gonna take from being an artist, and what you're prepared to give out. It's nothing is free. Always remember that nothing is free. And go for your goals, but first set them. Set your goals and know what you want when you get into this business.
Because a lot of people don't really believe this business sometimes is a dog-eat-dog business, and only when you're in it, you realize the situations is not as gloomy as you think when you're on the outside.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I ask artists to explain so that other artists can get an idea when they come into the business that this business is a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and sometimes sleepless nights.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of sleepless nights. And that is, we haven't even gone into production, doing music, getting the music itself, creating the music. It gives you sleepless nights. It gives you, for me, it was leaving Tobago and going into Trinidad, finding the best producers to produce your music. I Am Woman in particular. That song cost me what? 8,000 TT, which would be like 4,000 EC to get done, recorded, and that's a thing too. Most people, when they do a calypso, they don't record the calypso. They wait until they get to the tent, and then when they do tent night, then NBC Radio get a chance to record you singing in the tent. My music is always recorded. So I always record my music and have them. So anybody asks, oh, well, can I have this song I'm singing for a Queen show? And that's what I get regular. Every year, somebody sings I Am Woman in a Queen show in St. Vincent. Mm-hmm. And you always have to have the music for them. So yeah, recording is tedious hours trying to get, and I always do my backups and my verses and everything. And then after I get what I want, then I add 2 other voices on it. So it's a lot of sleepless nights.
Because...
And if somebody write the song, you have to put yourself into the song to give it out.
And the sleepless nights, don't matter how much money we pay them, sometimes you can't make up for those nights that they didn't get to rest or go to bed at all hours. So for you,
I paid that price in 2019. 2019, because I took a rest in 2018. Man, I did all the shows leading up to competition. You know what happened to me? I did this all-white show, and I perform and I get on. Friday night now was for Raga. Didn't have a voice. Soca. Didn't have a voice. Straight into Calypso. Did not have a voice. I was so upset with myself. So and that's what I'm saying. Every time you do something, it's always a stepping stone. You ain't gonna find me trying to kill myself out again in shows if I know I have 3 competitions coming up on the weekend. And that's what I forgot. I don't know how I managed that. And it has never happened to me before, but you know, things happen.
So tell us, how do you write your songs? Do you get a melody first, or do you put pen to paper and then find a melody? How do you inspire yourself to write a song?